Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of ISM Radio. I'm your host, Gage, and I have the pleasure of sitting here tonight at Oheka Castle for another one of our executive networking events with Margarita Moshe. Welcome to the show. Yeah, got it. I got it right.
You got it right. Thank you for having me.
We love having you, yes, and it's great to have you on the show. So, I read the website. I read a lot about the bio, and you spent a lot of time in college, and you worked real hard to get to where you are right now. But you did change careers.
I did. This is my second career.
Second career. I'm on my second career too. Maybe my third, I can call it.
I think those are the best. No?
Absolutely, because you learn so much from the first that you move on. You take all that knowledge with you. What you learned in the past is definitely going to help you be better in the future. That's how I felt, at least.
I think you also have the wisdom with age, so you kind of know which direction you're going in. Your goals are a little bit more clearer. So.
But we just don't want to tell people how old we really are. No, give it away. I just gave away my secrets there, so you know. But you went to school here on the island. So you went to St. John's when you did your 6 years to become a pharmacist.
Correct.
And how was that? Give us an example. Tell us a little bit about being a pharmacist.
I liked being a pharmacist. I went straight from school. I opened my own store. I knew that I didn't want to work for one of the big chains. I wanted to be my own boss, and I opened my store in a very underprivileged area in the Bronx. And I really liked it because I was really helping people. I was one of the first pharmacists to start the ISM program, where we started giving out needles. It was an area where there was a lot of IV drug users and a lot of clients. A lot of our patients had Hep C, HIV. So, it was really nice to be able to make a difference to somebody, because a lot of these patients, they really don't talk to their doctors anymore. So I think the pharmacist was really like their second line, like medical person to give advice. And they really absorbed it. They loved it. And I got along really great with my patients. They loved me. I was there for 16 years, and some of them still call me even now after I've left for so long, and they still wish me happy birthday, and they say that they miss me. So it feels good to know that you made a difference in someone's life.
Well, you bonded with the community, and you have lasting relationships because people liked what you did.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you were able to change the community a little bit.
Definitely proud of it, yes.
Yeah, and you should be. And then you went on. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, you went to 6 years of school to become a pharmacist, and then, and I know the story because Mom told you were really good at arguing.
Yeah, I was a good arguer. That's for sure.
You went to law school.
I did.
And you passed the bar, and now
here I am.
Now you own the injurygroup.com, which is a website everybody should go to and check it out.
Absolutely. So it was a little bit of an interesting story coming to this, but I think it started, I'm not going to get too reminiscent, but it started in high school. I was in both programs in high school. They offered like a law and humanities and a biology program, and I really liked biology, and I really liked medicine, and I really also liked law and humanities. I was on the debate team. I did mock trial. I won all these awards. I was really good at it, and I got a summer internship at one of the top law firms in Manhattan. I worked in Battery Park City. It was called Hughes, Hubbard and Reed. And I remember one of the mentors there, he said, you could go to college, you could be an English major, or you can do something that you really want to do. And it was funny because they handled like pharmaceutical companies. So they handled Pfizer, they handled Merck, and they did a lot of their litigation for that. So I used to work in the records department. I would read through all of their records. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. There were still lawsuits going on for like 30, 40 years from medications that were originally released so long ago that were still affecting people after all this time.
Sure.
So he was like, I told him, I said, I think this is really cool. And he was like, well, like I said, you could either go be an English major if you want to get a step ahead. I would go either be a bio major or be a pharmacy major if you want to do pharmaceutical law. And that's going to really like give you that edge. That's going to be the candidate that people are in our industry going to want to pick. So I was like, okay, that sounds like an idea. And I liked English, but I didn't like it that much. So I said, okay, I'm going to be a pharmacy major. And after you're in school for so long, you just kind of like want to get out and you need to make money.
Yeah, 6 years of school, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I got loans to pay. I need to work a little bit. So I started working for like the big chain stores. I worked for Rite Aid, Genovese, Eckerd at the time. It was Walgreens. I don't know. I think I worked for every single chain out there, and I didn't like it. I thought it was just it was very unpersonal. Like you weren't really I wanted to deliver more of like a personalized kind of experience
Right.
for my patients. I wanted to be able to communicate with them. I felt more like I was just a robot. I was just counting pills. Just it was all about volume, volume. You didn't get lunch breaks. It was just a lot of burnout.
It
And
was
I said,
corporate by numbers.
it was corporate by numbers, and I said this isn't for me. And I said, with the help, I was already married at the time. My husband, he supported me, and we opened our first store in the Bronx, and that's where everything took off. And I did really well. I was very successful. But you work a couple of years, and not a couple of years. I ended up working 16 years because I really did I really did love it, and I did make a difference in the community, and that was really important to me. But I still kind of always came back to but this wasn't really what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I got detoured a little bit, but I feel like there's still like a bigger purpose for me here. So my kids were a little bit older, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take the law school entrance
Right.
exam, and let's see what happens. And I did
3 years later, you passed the bar exam.
I did well. I went to Hofstra here on Long Island. I really loved Hofstra. I did really well there, and I came out, took the bar, and here I am now working at my own firm, the Injury Group, and
And you've been there how many years?
it's about almost 6 years now.
Okay. And
It's been it's been good. I can't complain. Still making a difference in people's lives, though a little bit differently from the pharmacy industry.
you're able to apply that pharmacy industry into what you're doing now because you're helping people with lawsuits.
I think that's what gives me the edge. I think that what really separates me from every other personal injury attorney that you have out there.
You hear that, guys?
Yes, 100%. Because when you have an injury, it's really important to have a lawyer who understands what's really ailing you. I mean, some people, they go through like horrific accidents. You're in, God forbid, in a car accident, and you have all these injuries, and you don't know, what's going to happen next. You're really at the bottom of the bottom when you're going through this. I mean, I go
Right.
to people in the hospital, I visit them, I speak to them, and they're in probably the worst despair you could ever possibly see. And sometimes they just want to hear someone tell them, you know what, it might be bad right now, but it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. We're going to get you to a good place. And I think that if you know a little bit about medicine, or even a lot about medicine, you can really say to them confidently that we're gonna get you there. Maybe not
Right.
be tomorrow or the day after, but we will.
Right. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. So it's also, you need that, like, a little bit of that compassionate edge also,
Sure.
because a lot of lawyers, I don't know, lately I hear clients that have switched. They said, oh, he was just wasn't for us. He was very like cold, calculated. You have to be compassionate. At the end of the day, yes, it's not all about dollars. You're dealing with people's lives here. And for me and for my firm, this is super important. And I think that that's what separates us from a lot of the big attorneys out there, is that you are going to talk to us. You're
Well,
going to,
That's why you're applying what you did for the opening your own pharmacy
yes.
into what your mother told you were supposed to be and do.
Yeah.
And that was debate and argue for people, and you're compassionate about it.
Yeah. I am advocating for you. So, your deepest, darkest moment, probably, you come to us for help. You're going to speak to us. You're not talking to some automated person.
Right.
You're going to get on the phone with an attorney. You're not going to be speaking constantly to assistants or paralegals or whatnot. You want
Right.
to speak to an attorney, we're there. I give people my cell phone number all the time. I have my cell phone number ringing all day from the morning, and I don't mind. A lot of my clients even like text me good morning and all this stuff, like on a daily basis. And to some attorneys, it might be really annoying, but
Right.
for some people, this is the only communication that they have. So for me, it's important to be that lifeline.
And you say we, and your family is involved. It's a family business, which is, how cool is that?
Yes, my son-in-law, he is also an attorney, and he's working with me. And we have a great relationship. A lot of people say it's kind of like an interesting dynamic, a mother-in-law and a son-in-law.
Sure.
Not everybody gets along, but we get along really great. We have a great working relationship. We know our strengths. We know our weaknesses. We work off of it. He's there when I can't be there. I'm there when he's there. And we kind of like fill in the gaps. So it works out really well for us.
Sure. And tell us a little bit about the different types of lawsuits and stuff that the injury group handles, because you guys handle a wide variety of stuff, not only just car accidents and construction. There's a lot.
Yeah, we do. We do a lot of car accidents. We do a lot of Uber, Lyft car accidents. We also do slip and falls. So if you fall in front of somebody's store in somebody's store in front of somebody's property. We handle those. Also some medical malpractice, which I've been told I'm probably very good at it. I remember my first job that I worked with at a big injury firm. I remember my boss came in, the hospital record they sent was like 6,000 pages. He comes carting in like 6,000 pages of papers. And he says, I want you to find the mistake in the medical record. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, well, isn't there an electronic file? Like, who sends it like this? And he's like, oh yeah, people who want you to really like dig around and make your job hard, send it like this. And he's like, but I'm going to give it to you. And I said, oh my God. He's like, yeah, but you need to do it quick. He's like, I'll give you 2 weeks. I was like, okay. So I start looking through the medical record. Day 1 comes, day 2 comes, day 3 comes, 4. I'm like, okay, I found it. I come into his office and I'm like, I found it. He's like, you found it? I'm like, yeah, I found it. He was like, that's it. These records are yours from now on. I said, uh-oh, I think I just dug my own grave here. So I'm really good about recognizing. Unfortunately, it's quite common. You know, medical mistakes do happen very often. And it's hard to like look through these records when you're getting them from so many different places. It's like really a needle in a haystack.
Right. Is that like looking through Discovery to find through the boxes of everything they give you when you ask for Discovery?
Sometimes even worse, because if you don't know what to look for,
right,
it's very hard. But I know what to look for.
See?
So that makes it a lot easier. And I was doing a lot of medical malpractice for a while also. So we do some of that. Construction accidents we also do.
Sure, scaffolding is a big one.
Scaffolding accidents are very big, especially New York City. You know, there's scaffolding everywhere. We have a lot of injuries from that. Ladder accidents, any kind of construction accidents fall from heights or any other kind of construction job labor accidents. I mean, that's the really majority of what we do. You know, personal injury is vast, and we handle all kinds of matters, and workman's comp as well. So if you get injured on the job,
right,
on any job, we help manage with that as well.
Now you mentioned New York City, so you guys are in Hempstead. You're here on Long Island.
Yes.
You're in New York City, and you're also in New Jersey. You guys are licensed in New Jersey as well.
Yes, we're licensed in New Jersey. We work in New Jersey. We also have satellites in Queens. We have satellites in Manhattan. We also Brooklyn, Bronx. So we have satellites throughout. So we make it really convenient to meet with our clients and make it easier for them during some of their hardest times.
And the best way for them to get in touch with you guys is to head over to theinjurygroup.com. Is that the best way?
Yeah, that would be the best way. There's a number there you can call, or you can even fill out a form if you need to speak someone right away. You know, somebody will almost always answer 24 hours a day.
Right.
The call.
That's the best way to get in touch. The phone number's there, the form is there, but if you go to the site, you really don't need to read much about it. Fill out the form, give the phone number a call, and
somebody will call you back within the hour.
That's it. Wow, that's pretty good service.
Yeah, that's pretty good service. I try to stay on top of it because time is of the essence, and you know you have to get on it. If somebody needs it, somebody needs it.
Right, they need help right away.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I have people calling me from the highway. I just had an accident. I said, really?
Like they didn't even call their insurance company yet. They already could. Now is that a guilt? Maybe the guilty sign that they feel they need representation.
Maybe, or maybe they just don't know what to do.
Right.
You know,
and they want advice.
They just want advice, and
Sure.
I don't mind giving it, even if it's not not necessarily a case that I would take, but I'll tell them what steps they need to take and in what order, and
I'll give everybody advice now. Don't admit to doing anything wrong on the police report.
The police report is really important. So yes.
Don't admit you did anything wrong to the police report. So that's the first bit of advice before you give Margarita a call. And what else to close this out? This was a great episode. What else would you like to say to them to close them out and maybe have them give you a call? And
I think I would say that choosing an attorney is really very important because it's just so saturated out there. There's a lot of personal injuries attorneys. You really have to look around, find somebody who resonates with you. And I wouldn't necessarily think the bigger firms are the better firms. You should really tailor to somebody who is knowledgeable. Yes, of course, you want someone who knows how to handle your case, but you also want someone who can empathize with you, who can be available for you. And sometimes the smaller firms are just the way to go. So don't assume that the big law firms that are advertising all over billboards and all over TV and radio.
Right.
I'm sure, yeah, they're great, but do your research and pick someone who's right for you.
They're spending all that money because they're lawsuits by numbers.
Exactly.
Where your pharmacy that was so small, and I'm not saying it was small, but it was able for you to be more compassionate like you're bringing to the table now with the law. So that's why somebody would want to call you over the big corporate places who you're not going to talk to any,
100%.
You're going to talk to a paralegal.
You're going to talk to me. You're going to be on the phone with Margarita herself.
That's right. Or her son-in-law.
Or my son-in-law, who's also great. His name's Jonathan.
All right, Jonathan, you got your plug here tonight on the podcast. We're here at Oheka Castle for ISM's Executive Networking event. Have you been here to the castle before? Have you been here?
I've been here a couple of times for a wedding, yeah.
Okay, great.
It's always beautiful. The venue is gorgeous. The grounds are stunning.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, the restaurant is here. There's a hotel. There's a lot of things going on here. They do tours. There's a lot happening at the hotel that people don't even know about. They have events here for people to come to throughout the year. And, we love it here. So that's why we're here tonight podcasting, and we're happy to be part of it at ISM. So we appreciate you coming on ISM Radio. We really do. Thanks for coming here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You'll be back for more. I'm sure you will. And if you guys need any legal assistance, or I should say pharmaceutical assistance for 16 years of her knowledge, you want to call her up and ask her, go ahead. But
I'm still licensed both.
That's right. And she's like, and you're also licensed in New Jersey, you're New York and Long Island for the law, so that's great. But yeah, head on over to theinjurygroup.com. And it was great speaking to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, guys. Gage and Margarita signing out. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.